Let's talk about how I move on after a breakup as someone with a dismissive avoidant attachment style. Family, welcome and welcome back to my channel. I'm Eleanor and this is Dismissible Me, where I speak only about dismissive avoidant attachment from the perspective of someone with a dismissive avoidant attachment style. Please like, share, and subscribe. Be sure to check out the playlist, find me on Instagram, and be sure to drop where you're watching from in your attachment style down below. And getting right into today's video, how I move on after a breakup as someone with a dismissive avoidant attachment style. Numero uno, I mentally close the chapter. I compartmentalize the relationship. I put it in a box, I summarize it real quick, rationalize the ending, right? So I make it make sense. I see it as, or I see the ending as something that was inevitable and necessary. So the only logical thing for me to do is, like I said, close the chapter in my head and begin to move on. And moving on does not, for me individually, it never means moving on to a new person. It always means I'm just no longer focusing any of my energy or attention on this relationship. So for me, I'm going to keep myself busy with work and hobbies. And a lot of what I focus on is a lot of personal and creative projects and fitness. So personal and creative projects, I may throw myself into or put a lot more energy into my real estate or even this channel. So like I'll be more focused on putting out content or putting more time into creating content and thinking about what I'm going to do next, or doing more editing or making shorts, which I have yet to do. It just has continuously been on my list of things, but I'm going to keep myself busy with work and hobbies. I'm also going to focus a lot on fitness. So I'll be going on more walks. I'll be going to the gym more, or I'll be doing more home workouts. Like one thing for me at the end of a relationship, one thing that helps me just relieve any unnecessary stress or anxiety and also process and clear my mind is working out, is sweating it out, and just kind of taking that time out for myself. It's good for my mental health. I don't know about you, but that's a thing. So for me, focus on keeping myself busy with the personal projects, being creative, focusing on new things that I want to try, and definitely fitness is number one. The next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to 9 times out of 10 downplay the significance of the relationship and your role in my life. So it's not only that this relationship wasn't that serious. We weren't seeing each other. We weren't in a relationship for that long. I didn't know you that well. It was only, 90 days. It was only 6 months. It's a lot of downplaying and minimalizing it. If I'm compartmentalizing it, if I'm downplaying it and minimalizing it, I'm not spending a lot of time, emotionally dwelling on it. I'm not going to be spending a lot of my time hemming and hawing over the relationship and what went wrong and this and that. I feel like there's definitely a time for that, but immediately after the breakup, that's not the time that I worry about those types of things. I'm in the relief stage, and so we close the chapter. I'm keeping myself busy because I feel like I've already processed it, because I've already put you in a box. I've already decided this is no longer. I've already decided this relationship is not important to me. And not only that, it's a part of my past. So I'm also emotionally detaching very quickly. Once we've broken up, once the relationship has ended, you are officially a part of my past. You know what I mean? Once it's over, it's over. There's no point where I'm like, no, they're not serious. I take it serious when you set a boundary. So it's over, it's done with. You could even be reduced to not just a part of my past, but like a stranger, right? Because I didn't know you that long. It was only this amount of time. And how long can I know you if it's only been 90 days? If it's only been 6 months? I didn't know you. Again, it's nothing for me to reduce you down to a stranger, somebody I used to know, barely knew, rather than somebody who holds or held any emotional weight in my life at any point in time. And typically the emotional detaching started before the relationship ended, regardless of who's ending the relationship. It's not very often that I'm totally blindsided by the ending of a relationship. I tend to know how to read a room. I am not going to seek any closure after the breakup. For what? Closure. Closure was in the relationship is no longer. Whoever decided to pull the trigger on ending the relationship, that was all the closure that I needed. Okay? I'm not somebody who needs a long, drawn out, deeply emotional conversation post breakup for clarity of any kind. The clarity was in the, I'm no longer interested. You're not meeting my needs. I'm not meeting your needs. Blase, squaze. That's all that I need. I don't need anything more than that. I'm going to move forward without looking back. I'm not going to allow myself to get caught up in nostalgia. I will not allow myself to get caught up in the what ifs, what could have beens, if they come back around. In my mind, there's not a comeback around. So for me, once I've closed the chapter in my mind, I'm pushing forward. The chapter of my life featuring you, starring you, has ended. It's closed. So the only logical thing for me to do is to start a new chapter, is to start a new book and move forward. I'm not going to be focusing on my past when I need to be focusing and preparing for my future and what's coming next. Again, as soon as the relationship ends, for me, you are a person from my past. So how I move on, a summary as someone with a dismissive avoidant attachment style, I mentally close the chapter. I'm going to keep myself busy with work and hobbies. I'm typically going to downplay the significance of the relationship and you in my life. I'm going to emotionally detach very quickly, especially after it's done. It's already going to take place at the end of the relationship, but definitely once it's done, it's going to be real quick. I am not going to seek any closure because I feel like I got the closure when I was made aware that the relationship was over. And I will be moving forward without looking back. For me, once a relationship ends, I'm not considering opening the door. And even later on, if I'm even in a period where I'm thinking about, oh, I miss this person or I miss this about this person, it never occurs to me that at the 6-month mark, 7 month, 9 months later, that I should be reaching out to somebody and trying to open a door. It just seems inappropriate to me. So that is all I have for you today. Please like, share, subscribe. Check out my previous videos in the playlist. Find me on Instagram. All of my links are down below in the description box. Please let me know where you're watching from and drop your attachment style down below. Thank you so much for your time, and I will be tapping in with you very soon. Keep it real.